you.
All right, 5, 4.
What's going on? I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend.
What's up? Well, don't tell everybody it's Memorial Day weekend because you see we're at work and people might get depressed watching the beer folks working on Memorial Day. Well, no surprise. I think with all the excitement and the branding, we've got Founders Brewing Company out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, with us today for this edition of Hoppy Hour. Very excited to break out of the state of Alabama, even though we love our Alabama breweries, but to sort of go national. Can we say that Hoppy Hour is going national, or at least east of the Mississippi? With one of the most accoladed breweries in the world. I don't know if y'all checked out their any of their scores, their rate beer. It's sort of like my report card back in high school. Founders Breakfast Stout 100, KBS 100, Centennial IPA 99, Dirty Bastard 97, Porter, not you Porter.
Yeah, Porter right here. Yeah.
Although you're 100.
That was my report card in high school too.
Well, I think what's really cool is one of the ones we'll talk about all day. Generally, session IPAs do not rate well, according to BJCP, Sippin' and Swirlin' rates, and this one's a 91, so that's very strong. And then I think it's a 97 with the Bros, which is really cool. And then they just continue their 100s: Backwoods Bastard, Imperial Stout, Devil Dancer. What do you think it is? How do they have the magic scorecard? What do y'all? Is it?
Well, I think you go back. You know, when you look at them and you go back and look at their extensive history in the craft beer segment. You know, they got to that brew for us philosophy. I think it states, you know, in their history, and they just make big body, great beers. I think they kind of key in on that flavor profile of each one of their beers. And just do it exceptionally well. You know, not to mention the packages all look really cool, but the beer is just a high quality.
Quality, consistency.
Yeah, for sure. I used to say I think they cheat. Everything that they would come out with was just spot on. I mean, like nailed it. And I just wondered if it's this easy, why didn't everybody do it? Who's got some nuggets from the history to tell us sort of about the grit and pluck, sort of like the Crimson Tide, the famous pluck and grit is put their name.
Well, I know that they are known. They were they were the first brewery to start experimenting on a big scale with barrel aging. So like KBS was one of the big national beers that started the barrel age movement, and it's like the number 2 beer in the world or it was the number 2 beer in the world. I mean, it's still crazy popular.
Still one of the most sought after beers, and
yeah.
Now they pulled it into a core year-round beer for them.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the history of where after 3 years, you know, almost shutting the doors and telling, you know, the folks that they owed rent money to, you know, that just bear with us a little bit. They even went and bought some bolt cutters. You know, so that the person who owned the lease agreement couldn't chain the door shut. But I think that's really cool that you look at where they are now, from where they've been, you know, and I mean, it took I guess it was close to 10 to 12 years before All Day came about, which right now is it's the leading session IPA in the market. It's actually growing 3 times quicker than the whole craft segment.
Wow.
So pretty impressive resume from where they came from, and just that resolve that they have through all that.
You know, we look at the timeline, and we, you know, of course, Founders being one of the best breweries in the entire world. I think it was named best brewery in America a handful of times, and we were up there a lot trying to get them to come to Alabama. You know, they tried it one way, kind of sold out a little bit, and then came back and said, you know what? Let's do a brewery the way we want to do a brewery, and it really paid them back. What are we tasting today? What do we got on the docket for today?
So today I guess we're going to start with the all day IPA, which currently is the #1 session IPA in the market in the US. So that's really cool. Excited about that. And then we've also got Green Zebra, which is relatively new for those guys. I want to say it came about in 2017. Don't hold me to that. I'm pretty sure that's the fact, but it was actually part of their the can. I don't know if you can see it with the Green Zebra on there, but it was part of their art series, I guess. But it's really cool can, really cool name. But,
Hey, Julie, what's a Green Zebra?
It's a watermelon. Just had that pointed out to me by Matt last week. And
Oh, wow.
my head literally exploded. I just never really thought about it. Yeah, I just hadn't thought. I mean, until I came to work for AlaBev, I hadn't had Green Zebra before. And I just fell in love with it last year. And really, I just remembered the taste. And I drink them so fast, I barely even look at the can. So when he said that, I looked at the Zebra and I was like, all this time.
Have you seen all those popular memes going around right now? It says, how old were you when you figured,
Yes. Today, I was Friday years old when I found out.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it was not the first year it came out that I realized what a Green Zebra was. I think I put it together maybe 2019. I was like, interesting. But again, my report card did not look like the founder's report card. So there's that. Now, starting with all day, y'all, Bobby, it might be before your time, but do y'all know the old sitcom Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
I know you do, California.
Before my time, didn't watch it.
Well, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Zach Morris, is a huge fan of Founders Brewing Company. And we were up there in 2009 for Founders Fest. And we did not know that MPG, as we call him, because we're buddies. He'll probably watch the video.
We'll tag him.
He was the lead guitarist for the Founders band. Well, my counterpart, Michael Solinsky, apparently is like teenage girl fanatic when it comes to MPG. And he didn't believe that he was going to be on stage. And when he came out on stage, now granted, we had quite a few all day, but we were up there like, the reason they had all day at Founders Fest was because it's an all day music festival, and like Centennial was the lowest ABV you could have. So there's people face first everywhere. So they're like, hey, we got to have something that you can drink all day. So they released it and they demoed it, and we tried it, and then we went to the Centennial. So we had a few of those and a few Dirty Bastards, and MPG comes out on stage rocking his Zack Attack guitar, sneakers. I mean, like the whole deal.
That's amazing.
My heart palpitated a little bit, but by the time I looked for Michael beside me, he was knocking people out of the way to get to the front of the stage. Within 5 minutes, he was up against the railing, jumping up and down, saying, "Zach Morris! Zach Morris!" He will not. You can ask him to this day. He will not deny it. And it was exciting. It was pretty cool.
That's
I guess,
awesome.
Well, there will be some Saved by the Bell trivia before we wrap this puppy up.
I'm gonna own you.
So we were launching the brand with special releases only before they had announced who their distributor was. Now they had told us, they had said, AlaBev, you're our guys, but give us a chance to call all the other suitors and let them know personally. Well, we didn't want to keep this a secret, so we asked if we could put out riddles. Like if we could not name any accounts, not name any beers, but put out riddles with Free the Hops on their message board and let people do like a scavenger hunt to find the brand. So we did the first one. We did Devil Dancer at On Tap, and we put out a riddle, and like 30 people showed up, and for all the Free the Hoppers are tweeting about it and calling like, "Oh, it is Founders, they're here, blah, blah, blah." The next one we did for Angelic Mountain Brown in Huntsville, and they ended up having to small serve the keg because it was a 6-barrel because so many people showed up.
Yeah.
The last one was Canadian Breakfast Stout at the J. Clyde, and they never even got to the launch. The beer was gone. The account opened at 2 o'clock, and there were people banging down the door. But somebody take us through all day. Let's have a beer.
So beer that I love drinking at tailgates. That's why I had to get a little sports back in my life a little bit, drink it out of one of my tailgating glasses. So, said low ABV, 4.7, tropical fruit notes, moderate, bitterness, but a very clean finish, just a great, IPA, gives you that IPA flavor, but, you can sit down and, drink them throughout a tailgate. So,
but they give you a little bit of that bitterness that you're looking for in an IPA.
Yeah.
But you can actually, drink more of them. Just they're super nice. They're clean and dry on the finish, but just really, really good liquid. And this one, they just hit this one on the head, like we said. Matt was mentioning earlier, with it being, you say you guys were there, Matt, like 2009?
Yeah.
Up at the brewery. And, that was the year that they formulated all-day IPA. And then it didn't go to package for several years. And now, just in our market, we can't keep this stuff in stock. And I think that just speaks to the success that this brand has had and the following.
And that session here, it was a great move on their part to put it into 15 packs, as you can kind of see it back behind Matt's.
Yeah.
I mean, those 15 packs just fly out of grocery. And I think that's what it is, buying a larger pack size. And like I mentioned, people are grabbing that, going to a tailgate, who still get that, slight bitterness that a session has. This one's on the bitter side for an IPA, but still low ABV, and you can sit back and crush them throughout a tailgate, or, going to the lake, going to the river, whatever you might be doing. Obviously, as you can see by the branding of it, it's very outdoorsy kind of thing.
Well, and I want to say, when that first came out, I'm not sure I saw a lot of session IPAs in the market. It was a lot of high gravity, and people were getting, stronger and stronger, more bitter, double IPAs. So to put out, that brewed for us philosophy, to recognize that the market was starting to be flooded with higher ABV beers. And they're like, you know what, we need something hoppy and bitter, to put out something that, okay, if you want your big IPA, here's one that you can drink all day long and you don't have to worry about.
See what you did there.
All day. It's your IPA for all day.
For beer number 2 through 6,
Right.
you sit down and you have the first double IPA and the game starts and you're like, uh-oh, I hope I make it to halftime.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's currently the number 2 selling IPA of any kind in the U.S. So
wow.
Ooh.
Pretty impressive resume.
And I've been waiting for this for a long time, and now we've got bars and restaurants back open, so you can find this bad boy on draft too now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, so good on draft.
Hey,
That, absolutely.
And we're still locked in our offices and our homes, but we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're being cautious.
One step closer.
That's all.
All right. Are y'all ready to move to the Green Zebra? Which I will say, I think Julie started a petition to get Green Zebra available in a 15-pack as well.
Yes.
Or
Year-round 15 packs, please.
She tried for like the old college party balls, like 55 beers. If I can get the party ball tap of Green Zebra. So I guess here's the big question: do you eat your watermelon with salt on it?
No.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
Is this
Absolutely.
an Alabama thing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Southern thing, but it's always kind of been a thing where I grew up.
That is so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
try
I
it
guess-
now. I have a watermelon at home.
Yeah, so Himalayan sea salt on top of a watermelon,
Oh.
game over. And
My salt's not that fancy.
that's
but
probably
I'll try it anyway.
There's mine.
And see the pink kind?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But if you've never gone down that road, then I suggest you hold out and wait as long as possible, because you'll never turn back.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fine.
Yeah, the sweet and the salty is just a perfect combination.
Oh,
This beer, I could write a song about it.
Oh, do that. Play your song.
I haven't yet. I said I could. I disclosed to you guys that I polished off a 6-pack of this past weekend. It's just, I mean, I used to think sour beers or gozas that I could only have one, and it was just all that sour that it was too much. I mean, it might be the watermelon flavor balanced with that sea salt. It just goes down so smooth. I mean, you don't want to stop drinking it. Take my word for it. You don't want to stop.
This one just got a good tart flavor. It's not a pucker you up, sour, like you were saying. It's one that you can sit back and drink,
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah.
And that finish, the finish is so refreshing.
Yeah, I guess,
Whatever, let's
How to
move
write
on.
a song in 60 seconds.
That's right.
what's amazing, I don't know beer into a glass, but you guys are all drinking it from the can, I think, unless one of you poured it into a glass.
I don't keep my pint glasses in my office.
Me
And I'm
neither.
also back to my Georgia pint glass, but go dogs. With that being said,
you see how you just slipped that in there?
Tastes like peaches.
Yeah, it's salty.
Might have
for
to
sure.
edit
Salty
that out
for
or start
sure.
getting dislikes on our video.
Yeah, after Tua dropped back and beat us, we're definitely salty. So I'm getting that. But anyway, you get in the glass, you get a lot more of that watermelon, which is really cool because out of the can, it's just coming out of the little hole.
Right. It's opening up more in the glass.
It smells like a watermelon right here in front of me, which is a cool thing about the Goza style. Do you guys? I don't know if a whole lot of folks know what a Goza is. I know there's still people that pronounce it wrong. Goza.
Oh gosh.
All kind of crazy things that they do.
Bobby, it's Goza.
Shameful.
Gaza.
Gozy, Gaza, all kind of stuff.
Goes.
Covering bars and restaurants, it's amazing how many different ways people will pronounce it.
And a lot of times, if you go to buy a six-pack, the buyers out there in the market that are really aware of the style will always say, "Hey, do you like a lot of salt?" Because that's pretty much the style. Which is kind of cool because the style is actually over 1,000 years old.
Wow.
Actually originally brewed with water from the Goza River, which is which is where that initial profile of the saltiness in the brew came from. The watermelon though in this one is definitely the feature. I mean, it's the highlight, and then you do have that slight saltiness, but it's definitely sweet as well. So really good balanced Goza.
Nice balance, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, that's
green
probably
zebra
what separates them from the Georgia analogy is the well balance and the finish.
Yeah.
Just saying. Historic. Yep. All right. So 2 great summer options. This past weekend we topped over 90 degrees. Green Zebra just really hits that that refreshing end of afternoon option to beat the heat all day. Is that pack it in the cooler, let's go hit the Cahaba like Bobby was talking about. Outdoor activities in Alabama. What's your number one recommended? You're packing a cooler full, let's say you get cooler that fits 18 beers, you got 12 all days and 6 Green Zebras. Where are you going in the state of Alabama?
I'll go first because I have the fewest places to choose from that I've been to, probably. We love going to Oak Mountain State Park.
Bengal country, what you got?
Man, that's a tough question, but I'd probably have to go back to my Tuscaloosa days and putting the boat in right there on the Black Warrior. And as I cruise down, I'm drinking my all days on the boat. And then we're pulling up to one of those kind of beach banks right over there in Foster's area. And I'm sitting on the beach and finishing the Green Zebras.
Chris, what's your all day activity?
If it were me, I'd probably come to my really cool house that you haven't been to. No, I honestly, I'm gonna go with Porter there and stay close to the water. I just really love Smith Lake. It's such an awesome array of beer. So if I've got the all day, I'm probably gonna crush that for a little bit, and then when I get back to wherever I'm staying and grilling out, at the end of the day, I have to grab one of these just to kind of open up my palate a little bit, get ready for a big steak. But that's probably where I'd go is up there in Smith Lake.
No, I dig it. I think y'all touched them all. I would round out Alabama's beauty by saying the beach, but as you can tell by the fluorescent lighting, I'm not really made for beach weather, even though I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. But beautiful beaches, definitely love that. My jam is probably Monte Sano State Park in Huntsville.
Oh, yeah.
The Japanese garden, the cabins, the whole deal. You can even, run down the mountain and check out Huntsville. But I'm with you guys on every single one of those. We talked about floating down the Cahaba. If you've never done that, it is quite an experience. Yep. Saved by the Bell trivia lightning round. First person to get it. What did Zach always say before the show froze and he analyzed the situation around him?
Not on this one.
A, freeze. B, hold up. C, timeout.
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 Yeah.
Julie got it. Oh, this is sad. True or false? Zach Morris's blonde hair was natural.
False.
False.
Who are the 5 OGs from the middle school years?
AC Slater, Jesse Spano, Lisa Turtle, Zach Morris, Kelly Kapowski.
Oh, what about Screech?
No?
Screech.
You said 5.
I don't think Kelly came.
I was just going to say the only answer I will have for any of these questions will be Screech until I get one right.
Screech. No, you know what? I think Lisa came later.
We're gonna have to.
Maybe.
We'll have to
What does your list say? Who's not on there? Kelly?
I went off script. Yeah, I don't think Kelly was in middle school. I think it was just Lisa and Jesse, and then the 3 boys.
Yeah, that would make. That makes sense.
Maybe.
Yeah, but that sounds about right.
When Kelly did come in high school, that's when the show just.
Oh, that's right, because that AC and Zach were fighting over her.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I was definitely fighting right there along with them for sure. I thought at some point our paths would cross.
Yeah, Kelly Kapowski for a lot of teenage boys were the heartthrob. Just the name, like Kapowski. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what AC stands for?
Ooh, I have no clue.
Alan Cunningham.
Andrew Christopher.
Alan Cunningham.
Alan
What?
Cunningham.
Alan Cunningham.
Our very own.
It's Andres Caleb, Albert Clifford, Alexander Carl.
Oh, it's Albert Clifford. Sorry.
Buzz.
I'm so impressed with your knowledge.
I need the multiple choice.
Oh,
It's not. See, this is what my brain's holding on to. This is why I can't remember normal stuff anymore.
This is why you didn't know what a green zebra was.
Yes,
that's right.
because somewhere floating around in my brain is what
Albert
A
Clifford, yeah.
stands for from Saved by the Bell.
And what was the popular hangout? Saved by the Bell hangout? Going to the
Max.
Yeah, the Max.
I'm gonna let you. Julie snubbed you guys.
Yeah, she did.
Like hanging from the rim, looking down at y'all.
Guys, I was probably still watching Rugrats. Okay,
That's true.
I don't know.
Christ.
Yeah.
We've listed a lot of beer. We've tried 2 great ones. Definitely go to the website, alabev.com. Check out our brand finder. Just type in Founders. Go to Founders website if you want to find out all the new, cool, fun, and exciting things that they're doing. But any final comments for the folks out there about Founders Brewing Company?
Well, I have a comment to add to what you just said. Also, as on-premise is opening up, I'm sure events will be coming eventually. We also have a link on alabev.com to our events calendar. So as things start to open up, just watch that page. We post everything on there and on Facebook. When we have stuff going on, we like to do a lot of fun events, and we'll definitely.
I'm hoping within the next couple months we can see events slowly start to come back. So
It's actually aptly named Fun Things to Do.
yeah.
Yep.
So if you like fun things to do,
Like we do.
and who knows, maybe you'll meet us live and in person and
Right.
see what we look like in person. It's very
Similar to this.
Yeah.
Very similar.
But,
Not much
Better
different
lighting, though. I
than
hope.
what you're getting right here.
I'm a little more pasty, and the gray. You see the gray a lot more in real person. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this edition of Hoppy Hour. Hope you guys are having a great summer, great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.